Okay, so imagine you wake up one morning, you started your period, you have breasts, you have hips, or you're a guy, you're taller, your voice is deeper, and nobody told you that that change was coming. You just woke up one morning and all these things are happening to you. And nobody told you to mentally prepare for the changes. Nobody taught you about the changes. You're just expected to go through it. And then, you're also expected to be grateful that at least I'm one of the privileged. Today we're talking about matrescence, which I know you've never heard of. I'm almost sure that you, a mother watching this, has probably never heard of matrescence, and yet you've gone through it. So let's talk about it. So you know how the algorithm knows I'm into motherhood? It just randomly sends me things. And this day, I'm watching a reel, and this woman is talking about matrescence. And she's going on and on about what it is, what it means. And I'm like, wait. So you mean to tell me that every time a woman becomes a mother, something similar to adolescence is happening to her? And this thing is called matrescence, and we've never heard about it. We've never talked about it. They didn't teach us in school. They didn't tell us about it. Nobody pre-warned. Nobody told you that, by the way, when you do born, you are going to experience matrescence. Even the people that have born before me don't even know what this thing means. Like, nobody knows what it means, but yet it is a phenomenon that happens to every woman, and it's the only other phenomenon similar to it is adolescence. And like, nobody told us. Like, nobody thought to tell women that they would undergo. Like, can you imagine going through adolescence and just not knowing? Why doesn't anyone care about women? Why doesn't anyone actually care? I had 2 children. My last born is 3 years old, and I'm just finding out today. I was today years old when I found out that I had undergone something called matrescence. Before we go into any of these things, as you can already see, I'm heated, and I just want to start on a light note. Although I don't know how light this note is going to be, because motherhood is showing me shaggy at the moment. But let me try and make it light. So today, my children are doing a talent show. It's very, very cute. I wish them all the best. Shout out to my kids. One of them is singing The Blessing. You know that the Lord bless you and keep you. She's singing that today in front of her whole school. I wore this beautiful big dress for her, the same dress she wore to my mom's birthday. And then my son is singing I have decided to follow Jesus, no turning back, and he's dressed as a dinosaur. You know what, for me, I feel like October Dimples is dressed as a little baby dinosaur, and he's singing I have decided to follow Jesus. I wish I did a video of his audition, because he actually wasn't supposed to do it. Everyone said he was shy. We think Kishi's shy, but then we had parents teacher day, and the parents teacher day is happening where the stage at the school is. So I'm doing Kojusimi's parent teacher conference, and my son just goes on the stage in front of everyone, and he just starts singing, and everyone's like, we didn't know he was this guy. I'm like, this is the only version of Kishi Bello that exists, the type of child that will climb on stage and sing at the top of his lungs. And so there and then they had to move things around to put him on the agenda for the school talent show. Now, downside is I'm here talking to you guys, so I won't be there with my children. And I hope that someone is generous and kind enough to record it for me. Their dad should be able to make it, but again, we're busy guys. So motherhood, parenting, but I did give them the pep talk of mommy and daddy love you so much, we're so proud, well done guys, and even if you don't see us, just know that we're in your hearts and we really care. But I feel really guilty, I feel really bad that I'm not there, because I feel like, how children are, every child has their strengths. Performing on stage right now is my child's big strength. Like, it's the thing that I know she's most excited to do, the thing that she's really good at. And so I really want to fan that flame and let her know that we're proud. And this is the second time she will be singing on stage and I'm not there. So I'm feeling the mom guilt in tremendous bouts, but this episode has to count because I have literally left my kids to be here. So yeah. By the way, were you at the mom fund? Were you there? Were you there? Oh my gosh. We're having an episode where I discuss and debrief the mom fund later, but I don't know which order these episodes are going to come out. Hopefully, I think the mom fund episode will come out. But if you were there, you probably heard the wonderful ladies. I think it was Mrs. Zacchaeus who reiterated what we already know, which is that you can have it all, but not at the same damn time. So right now, I feel like I gave my children the past 7 years has been dedicated to mothering them. Right now, I'm focused on my career and my dreams coming true. And so that looks like, it's really ugly to say out loud, but sometimes that looks like missing important days like this to just focus on my goals, because I'm believing that by the special grace of God, I'm raising children that are not so anxiously attached that if I don't show up, everything falls to pieces. But I think I'm pretty sure I've sent a grandparent and a husband to to go and show up in that way, and I trust that they'll be fine. Rely on your village, guys. Rely on your village. So the actual definition of matrescence is the sociological and physiological changes in the body and the brain that make a woman a mother, turn her into a mother. It goes from milk production to your womb expanding to your blood vessels even changing. But then more importantly, I think what I want to focus on is the actual physiological changes in the brain, like what actually happens to your brain. There's something called synaptic pruning. Synaptic pruning is basically where your brain starts to pick and choose what it wants to focus on and actually forgets, like let go of things that it doesn't think are valuable. So that's why you actually forget things. Yeah. Why is one standing? Yeah, that's what happens. You forget things. Your brain actually chooses to focus on certain areas and you completely lose. Sometimes you even lose memory and you don't get it back.
Memory of people.
Bro.
People and experiences when I was pregnant. I don't remember.
It's matrescence, babe. It's matrescence. That's what happens to us. We all think we're crazy. That's the thing. You did suffer memory loss. You've lost 5% of your brain, babe. Depending on how the pregnancy does you actually lose up to 5% of your brain for the last, especially, and it peaks at 36 weeks. 36 weeks is when you have like fully lost a chunk of brain mass. And then it starts to grow back at like maybe 6 weeks postpartum. That's when 3.5% of your brain comes back at 6 weeks postpartum. Why do we know this? We know this because because never 200. 20 women did a study in 2017, I believe, where they looked at them before pregnancy, during pregnancy, and after, and they looked at the changes to their bodies, their minds, their spirits, their souls. Bro. Matrescence? I want everybody to please just go on their social, like just Google it, read up about it. I'm going to try my best to give you everything I found, because as you can see, we're all still losing our minds about this, but like I'm going to try my best to. So the push and pull of matrescence. So the pull, your brain is being pulled towards the baby. You're hyper vigilant. You're emotionally attuned. You're obsessed with safety. You can't switch off. But then at the same time, the push is your old self still exists. Your body still has needs. Your individuality is crying out. So you want to be a whole person, but then you have this whole thing to nurture. And so that tug of war between me and my new self is matrescence. It's almost like a child that really wants to go outside and play, but they are telling the child, you're an adult now, you can no longer play as a child. Like, it's matrescence. Like there is a time where that individuality has to cut off for the nurturer to be born. After the kids have weaned and they're older, you can now start to make your way back to a sense of individuality, but it's never the same as it once was. Because even though now as an adult, I can go back and play around with the things I did as a child. Like, I'm rediscovering some of the things I enjoyed as a child, but I can't go back to being a child. It's the same way I can't go back to being a woman that didn't have children. Matrescence, I am now a mother, but inside that, my job now is to rediscover, to reorient my brain, to start to see my motherhood not as a death sentence to the old version of me, but a platform to discover new versions of myself, right? The same way a child wouldn't see her teenage years as a death sentence. She sees it as an opportunity to explore new versions of herself, new territories. I think that's also that's like the positive spin on this. That's like the positive part of this. But the thing that I'm stuck on is nobody told us. Like, you just enter motherhood, you just lose your mind, run mad. If I tell you guys the actual like what happens to your brain and why you have intrusive thoughts, there's a science to intrusive thoughts. There's a threat center in your brain. It's called the amygdala. God, I hope I'm not just, these things, I researched them haphazardly, so if they're wrong, please forgive me. There's a threat center in your brain called the amygdala. It gets bigger in your brain when you're becoming a mom. So the part of your brain that is aware of threats, danger, it grows. So that's why when you're climbing down the stairs, you're seeing your child fall into pieces and be split. So, like, you're seeing chaos because there's a part of your brain that is actually like alive, that's like actively telling you danger, danger, danger. And that part of your brain is called the amygdala, and it grows during pregnancy, and it doesn't shrink back. It doesn't shrink back to size. It stays crazy for the rest of your life, which is why you will have that nosy lady in your church look at your child and be like, please, can you cover that child? She must be cold. This woman isn't trying to be insane. She can't help herself. Her threat center is still crazy and she doesn't know how to regulate it, and so she's in church with you. Because I'm saying this because something very specific happened to a friend of mine where she was in church with her baby and somebody said she wasn't taking care of the baby well, and she got angry. And I'm just like, that woman is also in her matrescence and she never self-regulated. So I think for me now with matrescence, knowledge is power. If I know that my brain is changing and I know that I'm losing my mind, I can actually speak to myself and say, calm down, like, relax, you know. I can at least I hope I can. So yeah, guys, I don't know how else to describe this thing to you guys other than fucking sucks that women are always the last ones to find out things about their bodies. Like, why are we always the last? Why a woman gave birth to the child that they used to discover adolescence. It was still a woman that went through matrescence, but she did not know. Adolescence was discovered in the 1400s. I did my research, guys. Adolescence, they discovered it in the 1400s. I don't even know how far back that is. Matrescence, were just discovering it in 2017 properly. We're doing research, was doing studies on actually what actually happens. I think this episode is actually a plea. If you're a young girl here and you don't know what you want to study in school yet, please let me study women's bodies. Help me go and study about women's bodies. We still don't know why we have fibroids. We still don't know why women have. We're just discovering that PCOS is now PMOS. We're just learning about our bodies today when women have been in existence since the beginning of time. Why doesn't anybody care? Why doesn't anybody give enough of a damn? Tell me what's happening in my body. I'm sick and tired of the guesswork. Can you imagine going into a hospital with your hormonal imbalances and they're telling you, well, you don't have cysts in your ovaries, so you must be fine. Take Panadol, drink tea. When you're actually having real life hormonal swings going from one end of the spectrum to the other, but no one is actually actively paying attention to what's happening in our bodies. Like, please, I want to beg any young girl in this, or man or person that is unsure of what to study and is considering the medical, just go and study women's bodies. Like, study the women's. We need to understand what causes breast cancer. Why are there so many? Why do certain demographics of women have fibroids? Why do why does postpartum cause hair loss? How can we actually stop it? Why do women lose teeth or lose eyesight in pregnancy? How can we actually stop it? What is going on with our stretch marks and all this? Like, what is going on? What is happening? How can we fix? How can we pay attention? What's missing? Come on, guys, come on, please, somebody please go to school, study about women's bodies. Like, it's not even funny anymore. What is my goal with all this noise making I'm making? I think one of the things I really want Motherworld to do is to help you go through motherhood with more ease, with more information, with less of the speed bumps and the craziness that I think a lot of the mothers that have gone ahead have already endured. This is an episode not just for moms to be. I want fathers, I want men to pay attention, younger brothers, younger sisters, friends. If you have a friend that's pregnant or is about to be pregnant, understand that this person is about to go through matrescence, meaning that the version of them that you know now is going to change. Expect that. Don't come with, wow, you really, motherhood really, be this space, be that safety for them. Let them go through that change feeling supported. I think more than anything now, what matrescence is teaching me is when a woman gives birth, the most vulnerable party of the two is actually not always just the new baby. The mom is just as vulnerable. And I think that's also one of the things I always preach here. Like, a new mom is just as sensitive, just as delicate as the baby that she's birthing. And so as a society, I really want people to pay attention to mothers. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, just keeping space. Like, I remember when daughters cried to me about the grief she was feeling, very real grief that I was feeling also. I wish we both knew that it was matrescence, because if you even know that, if water starts falling from the sky and you don't know it's rain, you would think you're losing your mind. It's raining because the clouds formed and they've put what? That's the same thing. If I'm just all of a sudden lonely, I'm having mood swings, my brain is changing, how I view the world has changed, and nobody told me that what I'm going through is called matrescence. This is what it means. This is how it shows up. Do you know that some of us, even me, I'm just starting to realize that a lot of the time I said, I struggle with postpartum depression. I might not have even been depressed, bro. It might just have been matrescence. Like, it is a lonely existence. Like, when you go through teenage angst and everybody's like, you're becoming a teenager, your hormones are out of whack, and everybody kind of sort of create that like safety for that. It's almost like society knows that a teenager is going to have, she might storm off, or she might do this, let's create the same safety and let's just do the same for women that are becoming mothers. Even for me, if I I'm done having kids, but if I have anyone in my community that's going to be pregnant, I'm going to now approach them very differently. You're going through matrescence, you're going through a new, and the thing is, matrescence happens every time you have a baby. Let me say this one more time. You go through matrescence with every child, and a new version of you is birthed with every child. So if you have your first child and you think, okay, I've gone through matrescence one time for the one time and it will only be one time, that's a bloody lie. You're going to go through it again and again and again, and different versions of you are going to emerge with every pregnancy. And so with every pregnancy, you have to say goodbye to the version of yourself that you currently have, that you currently know, and then make room for a new version. And there is so much to grieve in that, but there's also so much to be expectant about, because while matrescence does in every theory of what it is suck, I've been through it twice, I don't love it. What it brings on the other side is it's almost like, one of the things I saw was someone was saying it's almost like your brain is being weeded, like it's taking out weeds. So what really isn't necessary for the journey is being eroded off you, and what is left behind is for a garden to bloom, right? So there is positivity there. I think from the 2 times I've become a mom, I have become more alert. I am more myself. I give less of a damn. There isn't enough of me to be giving people, so I'm more selfish, which is good. I am more in tune with my thoughts. I'm not afraid. I'm actually more afraid to be a failure than I'm afraid to try. There are things that if I wasn't a mother to 2 children, I don't think I'll have a podcast. I think I'll still be scared. If I wasn't Kishi and Koji's mom, I don't think I would have done the mom fund. I would still be in my head. I wouldn't try swaddle. I wouldn't try, all these things that I'm doing. I would have talked myself out of it. I would have said, and the reasons behind why I would have talked myself out of it would have been really stupid reasons, like, oh, I don't want to look cringe, I don't want to be embarrassed, oh, this is so embarrassed, that's so cringe. Like, I really have decentered other people because it's too costly to be a mother and to center everybody else's idea of who I should be. I think that it's a big cost. It came at a huge cost. RIP to the body I had, RIP to the mind I had, RIP to a lot of the things that I held so dear to myself have faded, but in its place has come wisdom, fortitude, resilience, and I think that if you're going into something knowing that in addition to a child, you're going to fundamentally change, I know that change might be temporarily, it might be awful for a short while, but in due season, everything becomes beautiful again. Everything becomes new again. Let me not lie and say everything becomes beautiful. Everything becomes new. There's new opportunities that exist because you yourself are new. And so, yeah, I think that's kind of the plus side of all of this. There's a lot to be expectant about. Matrescence, I see matrescence as, it really is that place where the caterpillar becomes pupae. When a caterpillar becomes pupa, it actually liquefies before it becomes a butterfly. But you see that liquefaction. If you put microphone to a caterpillar that is now in a larva pupa format, it's going to tell you it's having a shitty time. He's going to tell you that life sucks right now. I've been liquefied. I can't even walk. I'm stuck in this bubble. What if a rat or something comes and eats me? Like, this is not a good place to be. But on the other side of that short while is the emergence of a beautiful butterfly. And I don't think, I'm not a caterpillar or a butterfly. I think of the two, I'd rather be a butterfly than be a caterpillar. Like, butterflies can fly, they're beautiful, like, genuinely, like, they have superpowers. A caterpillar is just a fat, ugly worm on a leaf, living in the same place that is eating, not really growing, not really developing, not really fulfilling purpose. A butterfly is here to pollinate flowers and create beautiful things. Am I preaching? I feel like I'm preaching somebody. A butterfly is here to pollinate flowers and build beautiful gardens. But if you are still looking at your lava pupa era, wishing that you were still in that place that you once were, will you achieve your destiny? That's where I leave you. And so, ladies and gents, as always, we cannot but end this on a faith-based note. And I think the shout out to Ayomide on my social media girly who actually knew where in the Bible this was. The anchor scripture is Ecclesiastes 3:1-11, which is basically the part of the Bible where it talks about there's a time for everything under the sun. Time to be born and a time to die and all these things. And essentially that scripture really stills me when I'm in seasons that I want to rush out of. Let the process you. That's something Esther Lunge said on one of these episodes. Like, allow the process to process you. Whomever, if to a mom that is currently going through matrescence at the moment, first of all, congratulations, you're welcome. That's what's happening. You're not dying. It's just a bit of matrescence. Every woman that has become a mother has undergone it, and we haven't died, so you won't die. You're gonna be fine. It's okay. Just ride the wave, wait it out. But more than anything, just know that the season is not permanent and there is beauty on the other side. There is so much that is happening on the inside of you that you won't even realize is there until much later. And I do look forward to seeing more women go through matrescence and become the best versions of themselves, because I do think that motherhood is where women tend to, I don't know, every woman I've seen that has become a mother is thriving in one way, shape, or form, especially the women that fight the process they fight for themselves in that process. There is always beauty on the other side. So yeah, I think even for me, looking at motherhood through the lens of God's character, God is not only forming a baby, he's forming a mother, like I always say. And transformation is a spiritual process. You can't rush that transformation. There's always a deep pruning before growth happens. There's always death before resurrection, which is why I always say that motherhood is where I met God. I've never felt closer to God than when I became a mom, because even the words, "This is my body which is broken for you," not to say that I am Jesus, but I get it. I understand the sacrifice of what that means when you can lovingly break your body for someone. Like, I think motherhood helped me also receive Christ better, because I know that because I bled for my children, I understand Christ more. Doesn't mean I am Christ myself, but I get it more, yeah. Okay, this has been a lovely, nice little, what's that thing where your brain just, you guys, this is Matrescence. I don't have words. That thing where your brain just goes. The word is going to come back to me. Sorry, guys. It is not a brain wave. It's not a brain freeze. It's not frozen. It's a train of thought. No. Damn. Yeah. Just goes in a, oh God. This is going to really bug me, guys. Not a rabbit hole. Damn, somebody's watching this and shouting at the screen. It's a... No! My brain is... Matrescence. Look at what you've done. I know this word, but I can't remember it now. That thing where you okay, so when you have a stream of consciousness.
Did we know that in this?
Stream of consciousness, where you're just consciously speaking and like just going. Thank you. Wow.
I had no idea what that was.
Eric found out too. Let's go and learn. Matrescence. I think that's it from me, guys. I think that's it. God loves you, and he won't send you into motherhood without all the tools you need. You've got this. And if you're in a community with a mother or a new mother or a mom to be, do the needful. Take care of her, please. Please. She's going to kill herself. Take care of that baby. So the baby is not your priority. She's doing that. You take care of her. And if taking care of her means taking care of the baby, then do that. But take care of her. Okay? Okay? All right? Alrighty, my name is Feyi. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode of the Motherwell podcast. We are currently down on social media, but we'll leave links in the bio and you'll find us. The people that need this podcast will find us, whether Instagram likes it or not. Alrighty, take care, guys. See you the next one. Bye-bye.